Guys, to my right is the Uplift version 2 that I reviewed over 5.5 years ago, and it has been the desk that I keep coming back to regardless to how many desks I've reviewed in this very office. I might have found the desk that might finally replace my tried and true version 2. As you guys know, I have reviewed a lot of standing desks over the years, and while a lot of them were pretty good, none of them seemed good enough to really replace my Uplift version 2 desk that I've been using as my daily driver for the past 5.5 years. And as you might have noticed, things have changed up a little bit. I got in the Flexispot E7 Plus to review, and it has officially replaced my Uplift version 2 desk as my daily driver. So guys, technically on paper, these look very similar. Of course, the version 2 desk of the Uplift was a 2-leg version. We will go into the exact differences between their 2 and 4-leg version, so it is a direct comparison to this 4-leg Flexispot. So guys, let's get into why I actually replaced my Uplift desk with this Flexispot E7 Plus instead of just going with another Uplift desk. So first off, which is kind of the obvious one, you get all of these specs that come with the Uplift desk at over $300 less than I would have paid for the exact same spec. You get the dual motors, you get the large desktop with the 72 by 30 inch option. You also get their anti-collision system, which both of them have. Now you do get a little bit slower operation out of this Flexispot than you do the Uplift desk, but it both comes with dual motors that are extremely quiet to use. Both of them are rated under 50 decibels, and you really don't hear them much at all. Then you get the exact same weight capacity essentially with 540 pounds versus 535. And you get that 4-leg option that I was looking for some more stability out of this desk when it's in standing mode and sitting. So when you add up all the features of both of the desks themselves, on top of that savings of over $300, it's really hard to go wrong with this Flexispot E7 Plus. And then one thing to mention about this Flexispot in comparison to maybe the Uplift desk is that it actually comes with their premium controller already. It's not an add-on option. So you get the 4 memories presets on the desk itself, as well as a USB-C port for charging your phone or any other devices you might have laying on your desk. So that is just something to keep in mind. You don't have to pay extra for that feature like you do with other brands. So let's go into why I actually made the switch to begin with, because I was perfectly fine with the previous setup without buying a new desk. And it really comes down to when I went to a multiple monitor setup and this large 48 inch. What I started to notice is that the stability of the 2-legged desk would make it so that the monitors kind of shook back and forth while it was working. When you go to a 4-legged setup like you have here with this Flexispot, you get a lot more stability in the desk as you're working throughout the day. And that comes not only when you're standing, but also when you're sitting. So as you're moving around, putting things around the desk, typing on the keyboard, you don't get as much of the vibration within the tabletop itself, so you don't get as much movement within the monitors. Especially when you're using monitor stands like I do here, you don't get as much movement out of that pole, which then transfers to the monitor, which can get kind of annoying over time. So when it came down to it, I was really looking for a 4-legged setup that I could use to get some more stability out of this tabletop as I worked on it standing and sitting. Then when you go into looking at these options, when you want a high quality setup that uses a triple beam design on the legs, there's really only a couple options out there, and it came down to the Uplift and the Flexispot. Now the Flexispot, obviously for $250 plus less, made it a really good option for me to go into this office. And of course, like most standing desks, the assembly part was incredibly simple. If you know how to put a screw in a hole, you will be able to put these things together. But one thing to notice on these is that when you go to this 4-leg version that has such a big weight capacity, it also makes it a lot heavier desk. It was very apparent just getting it out of the box to assemble it that this is a lot more sturdy, a lot more robust setup than a typical 2-legged setup that you would see out of this brand or others. So if you're the kind of person that wants a really stable desk, even if you're not putting a lot of weight on it, a 4-leg setup like this E7 Plus from Flexispot is really the way to go, but keep in mind you are dealing with a lot heavier setup. So while the Uplift desk might have more options when it comes to tabletops and the colors of the actual frame itself, I found the option that I wanted anyway straight out of Flexispot, and they have plenty of different options on their website if you're looking to pick something with a little bit different configuration than this when it comes to size or colors. But if you are that type of person that wants pre-drilled holes and a ton of different color and frame options, maybe looking at the Uplift desk might be for you. All right guys, so are there any downsides of this E7 Plus from Flexispot? One I've kind of already mentioned. If you're looking for a more lightweight setup that you're able to move around the room, this is not going to be for you. These 4-leg setup with these standing desks end up being really heavy. So it's a set and forget. You're not moving this around the room very easily. And then the second thing, you are still in the premium market for standing desks. While this is less expensive than the desk I replaced with the Uplift desk, it is still around $1,000. I know a lot of people right now are going to go on Amazon and go, I can get a standing desk for $250 of the same size. Yes, you probably can if you do some searching. However, it's not going to be nearly as stable, reliable, or have the memory functions or the premium desktops that you find with these better brands. As you saw with my Uplift desk, I had it for 5.5 years and it still looked brand new and functioned perfectly up until the day I replaced it with this desk. And this Flexispot desk is going to do the exact same thing. With some of the less expensive desks that you find out of the market, the motors are not as good. They don't have 2 motors, they only have 1. And there are a lot of aspects to the desk that they really cheap out on to get them to that price. And then third, if you are one of those people that want some kind of weird color combination, the Uplift version 2 desk is going to have more color options and desktop options. But like I said previously in the video, this is the setup that I wanted anyway, regardless of which one I picked. So the Flexispot fit right into that category while being able to save me some money for the same quality that I was seeing out of other brands. And then if I'm going to nitpick a little bit, you can't do the grommets that are included with the Uplift desk with this Flexispot. So I ended up doing just the wires coming in behind the desk, so I wasn't actually drilling into the top of it. So guys, there you have it. If you're looking for a really good 4-leg setup and a standing desk, it's hard to beat this Flexispot E7 Plus. You get all of the features you get from the other brands in this premium category, but at a price that's a little bit more palatable than some of the other ones out there. So guys, I want to hear what you think down in the comment section below. Are you using a standing desk now? Is this something you can see yourself switching to? I want to hear your experience. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to Rob Sutton for more videos like this in the future. And until then, on to the next one. Thanks guys, see ya.